For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years, cause you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You gonna pick that phone up one day, and that girl gonna be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Cause ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to get up, okay? You are right now?
Are you looking for a good, honest mechanic? Well, you have found one. Hi, my name is Marcus Williams, owner of Automotive Repair for Less, offering you lesser rates for your automobile repairs. We do major and minor work replacing engines, transmissions, tune-ups, brakes, and almost anything you need in automotive repair. I'm located at 2975 James Road, in between Warford and Hollywood, on top of the Overpass Bridge. My number is 901-859-6169. That is again, 901-859-6169. Hopefully I'll hear from you. Automotive Repair for Less.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Big time players make big time plays. 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 Go hard, 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 go hard. Cause big time players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays. Gotta get it in a big time way. Let's get it on the grind, head on the line. Gotta stay focused, gotta keep a sound mind. It's go hard or go home. Go hard, I go home, go home, go hard, go hard, go home, go home, go hard, go hard, go home, go home. Let's go, let's go, let's get it, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Let's go, let's go, let's get it, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Big time players make big time plays. 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 Go hard, 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 go hard. 'Cause big time players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays. Gotta get it in a big time way. Let's get it on the grind, head on the line. Gotta stay focused, gotta keep a sound mind. It's go hard or go home, go low.
Best
Just a few
soul
cocktails.
food. For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some of the items on their menu consist of spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yam, greens, salmon, croquette, best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South. It is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
All right, and we are live here on a Friday evening. Glad to be with y'all on this Friday once again. I am your host, Joshua Midgett, here with Talk Sports Live. Glad to be with y'all, as I said, once again on this Friday evening. So much going on, so many things I want to talk about. I know that we need to talk about. I appreciate y'all that are coming in to the stream right now. Tell a friend to join in on the conversation, as we always do here on Talkback Live Network. Man, no, I hadn't been on the past couple of weeks. That is maybe a week, or it feels like 2 weeks. Definitely had some things going on. Slightly under the weather, as you may be able to tell by my voice, but I'm here, man, ready to go on another Friday. If you're coming in, go on and say hi in the comments as you continue to come into the stream, and we're going to talk, man. But as we know, there's a lot going on in the city of Memphis as of right now, and I would not be right if I did not bring up what's going down on today. So, and really what's been going on the past several days. But as we know, the picture that we see in the corner, what's good? See y'all coming in. What's up, Isaac? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Mr. Prince, coming in as well. And some more y'all continue to come on in the stream. But as we know, today is an interesting day in the history of the city because of Tyre Nichols, the young man that you see the picture on the screen. His death, that murder by 5 former Memphis police officers in supposedly the line of duty, brutally killing this young black man. And it is really not just caught the city, but the nation by storm with the brutality of the situation. And as we know, this is nothing new in this country. This is nothing new if you're a black man in America. But every time it happens, it's always I don't know if shock is the right word, or it just gives you this feeling of here we go again. And you see the suffering of the family. And I saw they had the mother and father speaking again today. And when you hear the circumstances surrounding the situation, you can't just help but personalize it. If you're a black man, just thinking about, when you look at this situation, everything that we've heard about it so far, and of course, when the video comes out in less than an hour, we're going to know more details. But that's one of the things I want to talk about. And I do have a sports topic I want to get to a little bit later. But I want to get you guys' opinion. How important is it to you that this video is released? And do you actually want to see this video? Because I don't think that I do. And the reason why I say that, I feel like at this point, we know what happened. We know who did it. We know that it was wrong. Is the video going to do anything more in the public's view? For me, for you, for the family, for other black men and women, young boys, young kids? What is this really going to do in a positive way, other than shed light on the brutality that happens on a daily basis? And maybe that's important. I don't know. I'm really conflicted, and I'm curious what you guys have to say on the matter. I know some people want to run from these types of topics, but this is reality. This is real life. And I'm not going to be one to act like this is not going on in the city in which I am in. And this isn't, like I said, just affecting people here. This is affecting people all over the country that are watching this story. And I can't act like I wasn't surprised when it came out that all 5 officers were black men. I was shocked. You guys can leave in the comments what your thoughts were when that came out that all 5 officers were black in the instance. But I was literally stunned. I was. Not that this could happen, but that, all 5 were black. Because in a lot of these situations, past situations that we've seen that have made headlines, there are usually white officers involved. And some of the situations, there are some black officers involved. I wouldn't have been surprised if out of the 5, maybe 1 or 2 were black. But that all 5 were black men, I feel like it hits different. Does it hit different for you? Now that we know the circumstances to a certain degree of the Tyre Nichols murder by 5 black men, police officers, how did you feel when you found out that all 5 officers were black? Did it surprise you or not? And to me, it definitely shows one thing, that it's a fact. It shows that the problem is deeper than just a black or white issue when it comes to police treatment of black people. And, when you people, and this is what I mean, just to be a little clear. Yeah, I have heard that. Leanna Esther Brooklyn put the comment on the screen there. It says all the officers have been released on bond. That is true from what I've seen. But it shows that I don't care what you want to say. There is absolutely a racial component to the way that police treat black people, specifically black men, but also black women, black men and women in these situations. Whether it's a white police officer or a black police officer, the victim is usually another black person on the receiving end of these type of things. Why? Is I think the question we have to ask at this point, and what can be done to stop it. But right now, the city is waiting. As again, it's been reported that at 6 o'clock Central Time, the video of the Tyre Nichols death and brutal beating is going to be released by the police department. And a lot of people are worried about the reaction of the citizens of the city of Memphis. How worried are you? Do you think this is going to turn into a powder keg of a situation that's going to explode and fire and brimstone, riots in the streets, things of that nature? Or do you think things are kind of being overblown and it's not going to be as bad as we think it is? Peaceful protests are going to rain down in a good way, in a good, positive way, and things are going to go on as scheduled. And should that be the case? I've seen some people that say there needs to be a violent reaction to a violent event that took place. But I've seen a lot of people, including the family of Tyre Nichols, say, hey, my son wouldn't want this. The mother said her son would not want this. That he, the man you see in that picture, would not want violence in the streets for his sake. So y'all give me your thoughts on all those things. Leanna says he was 80 yards from his home. So there's so much I could say as I even now still getting my thoughts together on this whole situation. Been watching coverage of this over the past couple of days. As a matter of fact, I will play a clip from the news. I know there's been a lot of talk on the news today, but this is just a little bit of the story from last night. And I'm going to come back and we'll talk a little bit more. Get you guys' thoughts on it and how you feel tonight's going to go, stuff like that. So stay tuned. You're watching Talk Sports Live. We're talking about real life right now and what's really happening in the city of Memphis right here on Talkback Live Network. I'm your host, Joshua Midgett, in the building on a Friday. Let's take a look at this.
While each of the 5 individuals play a different role in the incident in question, the actions of all of them resulted in the death of Tyre Nichols, and they are all responsible.
The district attorney announces charges against 5 former Memphis police officers accused of killing Tyre Nichols during a traffic stop. All of them taken into custody and charged with murder.
I've devoted my life to this profession, and I'm grieved. Frankly, I'm shocked. I'm sickened by what I saw.
The head of the TBI saying we shouldn't be here today after 30 years in law enforcement. He called the police video of the arrest appalling.
Justice for Tyre! Justice for Tyre!
An emotional tribute to Tyre Nichols held by friends at a skate park in Memphis with a candlelight vigil for the avid skateboarder. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. We have Team Tyre Nichols' case tonight as the officers are officially charged.
Some of those officers are already bonding. Beginning with the arrest. What?
Well, Greg, as you mentioned, we know right now at least 2 of the former police officers posted bond now less than 20 hours from when we can expect to see video of that violent encounter.
Tonight, for the first time, we're seeing the 5 former Memphis police officers accused of killing 29-year-old Tyre Nichols since they've been stripped of their badges.
In plain clothes, Desmond Mills Jr., Demetrius Haley, Justin Smith, Tadarius Bean, and Emmett Martin were booked into 201 Poplar Thursday morning after being indicted on charges of second-degree murder, aggravated assault, 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 2 counts of official misconduct, and official oppression. During Thursday's press conference, we pressed District Attorney Steve Mulroy about the charges.
Yes, Mulroy, can you please tell us what led to those aggravated kidnapping charges?
To explain them?
Yes, sir.
At a certain point in the sequence of events, it is our view that this, if it was a legal detention to begin with, it certainly became illegal at a certain point, and it was an unlawful detention.
Mulroy says Nichols, who died on January 10th, bloody and bruised in the hospital, was pepper sprayed when he was beaten yards away from his home in Hickory Hill. Noting the weight of the tragedy, Mulroy thanked Nichols' family for their patience.
We met several times this week with the family of Tyre Nichols. They described an almost perfect son, a cheerful and happy person who enjoyed skateboarding and sunsets over Shelby Farms Park.
TBI Director David Rouse calling the police beating sickening and appalling.
Let me be clear. What happened here does not at all reflect proper policing. This was wrong. This was criminal.
As the world braces for the release of the violent video of Tyre's killing Friday night and protesters gather, we set out to find what top leaders have planned for possible unrest.
Can you talk to me about preparations for the protest?
Let's talk tomorrow.
What can you say to them now? Because this is happening now. People want to hear from you now. What can you tell us?
We're not preparing for things to get violent because we're not hoping that things get violent. Sure, we have to do some preparation, personnel, equipment, things like that, but it's no large scale.
At this time, the DA says he does not expect any more criminal charges. Again, we know at least 2 of the former police officers are now out on bond. Now, their bonds range from $250,000 to $350,000. Now,
all right, that's again was WREG on that report, and that was last night. By the way, from everything I'm hearing, all of those guys have bonded out by now. And again, coming up at around 6 o'clock is when the police are supposed to, in the district attorney's office, are supposed to put out that video of the actual incident of Tyre Nichols. I've heard, that says some things going to be redacted, of course, and edited and things of that nature, which I understand. But again, I'm still at the question. I don't know if I want to see it because you see all these things. If you look, if anybody's on social media on any type of regular basis, which I know a lot of us are, right? You just scroll through, you will see a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff you don't ask to see. A lot of stuff you don't want to see. And some stuff, that's inappropriate. A lot of stuff that's extremely brutal. And that could be traumatizing to a lot of people. Is it necessary to put this video of this beating out there? Or is it important for people to know the extent of which these officers went to basically kill this young man? Even though, if you just heard from the TBI director, you just heard from the district attorney, throughout the day today, you've heard from all of those people, heard from Mayor Jim Strickland this morning on WREG, talking very strongly about what was in the contents of that video. Police Chief Davis. Everybody is very blunt, and this is one thing I definitely give everybody credit for. Everybody that's involved on a powerful level, the chief of police, the mayor, the district attorney, the TBI director, all of these people in powerful positions in the city and law enforcement, things of that nature, are not being are not half-stepping with their words. They're saying this is murder. They're saying this is unlawful. They're saying this is brutal. They're saying this is not becoming of any type of officer of the law or public servant to protect and serve. Everybody is very, very intentional with the words that they're using. And that is a welcome change to, I think, at least to me, to past situations, not only the ones that have happened here, but other places as well. A lot of police people, you got police unions usually step out in front and try to use careful language and don't want to say this did or didn't happen. But here they're saying what it is. And this is before the case has even gone to trial. These guys are just bonding out of court. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the trial goes with all of these major people basically saying this is exactly what happened. It seems like they're going to get exactly what they got coming to them, I would imagine, at this point. It's an overwhelmingly powerful response from a lot of the people in high places. But how are you all feeling about tonight? The video is scheduled to be released in about 30 minutes. How are you feeling? Are you worried? Is it necessary to put this out there? Let me know how you're feeling. Leanna, I believe, if I got the name correctly, I'm sorry, Esther Brooks says so much heartbreaking stuff. I agree. Frankie says, good evening. Good evening. Glad to see you joining me on this evening, Frankie. Despite the circumstances, Leanna said it is very necessary. It's triggering, but in order to get all of this to stop, it needs to be seen and shown. And I get it. I do. Because when you do put it out there publicly, everybody sees it. There's no way for anybody to, during the court process, to try to say what it does or doesn't show. And because they've hidden it from the public, nobody really knows. Everybody will see it or be able to see it in about 30 minutes. Kelly, what's good, man? Good evening to you. My guy, how you feeling about the situation on today? In case people are wondering that are just coming in. The picture that I'm showing in the top right next to me there is the Tyre Nichols, the late Tyre Nichols, who was killed by 5 former Memphis police officers in a traffic stop which to me is highly questionable at this point. I think I even saw Leanna leave a comment on that. She says the officers were part of a special squad, the Scorpion unit, unmarked cars, not for traffic stops. So I feel like there's a lot that's going to come out when it comes to this. And I was even seeing earlier, the police chief Davis was asked, did any of these guys from the Scorpion unit, did they know him? Because it almost seemed like is there a hint of something being personal here with the way he was stomped out to death in this situation? And you never know. I don't know. She said she didn't know as well. But I'm sure that's something they're going to look into. I'm not sure how you can really find that out, but I'm sure they have their ways. But I don't know. And especially if this is not their thing of making traffic stops, I wouldn't imagine. I don't know the exact details of what the Scorpion unit entails and the description of everything that they do. But it seemed like it was a lot more to stopping people for a traffic violation. And Leanna, speaking on rumors, says rumor he may have been dating one of their girlfriends or wife. Oh, see that? I don't know. I'm not going to speculation, but that is interesting. And I'm gonna see if anything comes of that. So, but y'all give me your thoughts. How are you feeling about tonight? The video is going to come out. Do you want it to come out? Are you going to watch it? Those of you that are here right now, answer this question in the comments. Are you going to watch the video if you're able to find it? Do you want to see it? And what are you looking for when it does hit the public? And if you do go out to try to find what's going on there. Kelly says, I'm praying for the family of the young man, also the families of the police officers. I hope and pray that it will not be any rioting. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm there with you, man. Frankie says, I am going to watch it. Kelly says, yes. So he's going to watch it as well. Everybody else continue to give me your comments. Are you going to watch it? And what are you going to be specifically looking for in the video? For me, I'm just curious on the purpose of the stop. and his behavior in the interaction, really the behavior of everybody involved. How did it escalate to this point? How did nobody stop it from going down? This is clearly not how you arrest anybody. To continuously beat somebody down. There was no de-escalation whatsoever from everything that we're hearing. So that's what I'm gonna be curious about in this video. But again, it's a shame for everybody involved. I agree with Kelly as far as praying for the families of everybody involved, including those 5 police officers. Rough stuff. Just rough stuff. And it's even rough, and that's why I didn't put the picture up. I was intentional about not using that picture that has been shown. And I get why they're showing it. It's almost like Emmett Till. You know, when Emmett Till was murdered, and, you know, his mother wanted to make sure everybody saw what they did to him in an open casket, despite how brutal it was. And made sure it was in the magazines and everything else nationwide. Everybody saw the face of what racism was and what it did to people. And I think that's why the family is allowing that picture of Tyre Nichols in the hospital with the bruises and everything to circulate. And I get that. I just didn't want to put that on the stream here, personally. Kelly says the hurtful part of it, that not one of the officers had the common sense to stop the others. And to me, it's more than just common sense. They didn't want to stop it. It seemed like everybody was enjoying what they were doing. And to them, common sense was to keep going. I've heard as much as from things that I've seen from other reporters reporting on what other people that have seen the video said, that there was an officer that took a picture and sent to his girlfriend, that they found on one officer's phone videos or pictures of other assaults that have taken place. So this is all stuff we're going to find out as we continue to go, what's true and what's not with these different rumors. But either way it goes, all of these guys need to never see the light of day, let alone become a police officer again. You know, just absolutely unbelievable stuff. And when it comes to the police department, what do they need to do, in your opinion? Let's look at C.J. Davis, the chief of police. What does she need to do going forward? Do they need to disband the Scorpion unit? I was talking with Bob about this earlier today, and how people are, you know, the family, the lawyers of the family are calling for the disbanding of the Scorpion unit. Now, C.J. Davis, the chief of police, is saying, well, she's not sure. It doesn't sound like she wants to go quite that far because it's done a lot of good, in her opinion. She talked about the guns they've taken off the street, the people they've arrested, crimes they've stopped, and things of that nature. But with all 5 of these guys being from the Scorpion unit, is that a bad sign of what this unit's all about? Or is that just an anomaly? Is that just those 5 guys are the evil ones and not the whole group? Let me know what you think. Because, you know, any answer, you know, yes or no, I will get it because I can see both sides. I really can. Kelly says, that's right, homie Josh. The mother of Emmett Till told a family member that didn't want to see him, we have to. I want to show the world what they did to my baby. Exactly. Exactly. That's why you can still find pictures of that to this day. Leanna says there should be someone watching, overseeing all police body cam 24/7 live. This could help. Yeah, you would think that's a lot of body cams. But I get that. I think that would be worth the investment. Somebody monitoring the body cams instead of having to go after the fact and go back and look at the body cam footage. You have several different people monitoring live and possibly being able to act in real time instead of having to wait till something is already over. Because from what I hear, all those guys, I believe all 5 of those guys' body cams were on. And they didn't shut them off. Let me know if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm hearing. So there should be plenty of footage of the incident from multiple different angles. I'm hearing this from the dash cam, from the police cam, you know, those police cameras that are sitting around with the blue lights, that was around. And also the cameras from the body cameras, multiple body cameras. So they got plenty of footage of this situation. So I don't know. I don't know, man. But either way it goes, this is a very sad, sad scene. And you all definitely be safe out there because, you know, again, there's the looming threat of violence that we don't know may or may not happen. Me personally, I'm praying for the best. I really don't think it's going to get out of hand. I'll go ahead and say that on the record. I don't think it's going to get out of hand like some people expect. I almost feel like some people want it to get out of hand, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think there is going to be protesting, but I don't think it's going to be nearly like people think. I could be wrong, but hopefully I'm not. That's just me. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, we're going to switch gears a little bit to another topic. And if anything continues to happen in the Tyre Nichols situation or anything like that, y'all be sure to, I'll be sure to let you know, and y'all can let me know as well if anything continues to develop. You're watching Talk Sports Live right here on Talkback Live Network, and we will be back.
For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
Are you looking for a good, honest mechanic? Well, you have found one. Hi, my name is Marcus Williams, owner of Automotive Repair for Less, offering you lesser rates for your automobile repairs. We do major and minor work replacing engines, transmissions, tune-ups, brakes, and almost anything you need in automotive repair. I'm located at 2975 James Road, in between Warford and Hollywood, on top of the Overpass Bridge. My number is 901-859-6169. That is again, 901-859-6169. Hopefully I hear from you. Automotive Repair for Less.
Go hard, go home, go hard, go home, go hard, go home, go hard, go home. Let's go, let's go, let's get it, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Let's go, let's go, let's get it, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Big time players make big time plays. 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 Go hard, 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 go hard. Cause big time players make big time plays.
All right, we're back. We are back. Talk Sports Live. I'm your host, Joshua Midgett. Back in the building, man. Going to switch gears a little bit. And again, I'm going to keep monitoring that situation with the what's going on tonight. So y'all be sure and stay tuned for that. But as of right now, I got some other stuff I want to get to in the sports world, but it's sports and intertwined with other things. So in case y'all haven't been paying attention, because I know there's so much going on locally. You got the Grizzlies with the big loss to Golden State the other night on a bit of a losing streak. First real losing streak of the season for the Grizzlies. Got that going on. You got the Steven Adams injury where he's out for 5 weeks. You got the Memphis Tigers who are back on the roll. Big win against SMU. Penny Hardaway gets his 100th win as head coach of the Memphis Tigers. Congratulations to Coach Penny Hardaway for that. Absolutely. Congrats to Coach Hardaway for 100 wins as Memphis Tigers head coach in his, I believe this is his 5th season as coach. So shout out to Penny for that. Big win against SMU. Kendrick Davis, the Tigers' best player, their point guard, was at SMU last year, played against his old team, had 24, 25 points, 11 assists. Kendrick Davis is the man. No question. He is that dude, as they say, man. So the Tigers are on a roll and looking really, really good here so far. So all of that going on. NFL playoffs. Cowboys lost last week. Everybody, for the most part, is happy about that. Great stuff going on this weekend. We got the AFC and NFC championship games. Kansas City taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. You got the Philadelphia Eagles as well in the NFC championship game. So much stuff going on. All that being said, this has been looming in the background, I guess you could say, of all of this stuff. And it is a situation with Bethune Cookman University. Now, I know you're like, what? Bethune Cookman? Who cares about Bethune Cookman? Well, Bethune Cookman is an HBCU. And we all know with Coach Prime, Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State, going to University of Colorado, a Division I university. There's been a lot of talk about HBCUs, hiring former NFL players, celebrities, some could say. Is that a way to further the HBCU program? We saw the attention that Deion brought to Jackson State, the success, the wins, all of that stuff. Now he's gone. And it's left a lot of people with a sour taste in their mouth. Now, the reason I bring up Coach Prime, because, of course, that's not Bethune Cookman, but the situation parallels in a lot of ways, including Coach Prime kind of getting involved in the situation a little bit. I'm going to talk about that and whether that was a smart thing for him to do or not. Now, the man that's in the center of this is Ed Reed, Hall of Fame safety, one of the best to ever do it at his position on defense for the Baltimore Ravens. That's him right there with the epic beard or nappy, however you want to say. But all of that being said, the man knows his stuff. Long career, Hall of Famer, big time. One of the best I ever seen do it. Was a favorite player of mine during his time, even though I was never a fan of the Ravens, all that stuff. So anyway, the the report comes out late December that he has accepted terms to become the next head coach at Bethune Cookman University. Now, Ed Reed was a star at the University of Miami, the Hurricanes, and he was serving a role on that staff as well. Not a major role, but he was serving a role there because, of course, that's where he went to school. But Bethune Cookman is also in Florida, I believe Daytona Beach, Florida. And it's a HBCU. He was inspired by what Coach Prime did. Went down there, did the whole process. Seemed like they liked each other to the point where they came to terms to some degree. And Bethune Cookman put it out there that, hey, he is more than likely going to be the next head coach. Now, I've never seen a press release put out there before the guy is completely made official. So that was interesting. Then as time went on, they refused to say, okay, whether he's the head coach or not. Even though he would put out videos on his Instagram page of him on campus, cleaning up, of him on campus with the players, doing different things. So it seemed like he had access to some degree because he was wearing their stuff, hats, shirts, on campus, things of that nature. Very weird. So then, on top of all of that, he puts out an IG video that sets the world on fire. And not in a good way. At least not for him. I'll put it that way. Not in a good way. So I got a story, a video that kind of details the entire drama going on with Ed Reed and Bethune Cookman University. And we're going to kind of dissect this as it goes. Because I'm not just going to play it all in one fell swoop. Because it's a little bit long. But I definitely want to talk about it because it's the best video that I've shown that's actually explained it with the clips involved in the situation. Now, be forewarned, there is some profanity in this. So if your ears are sensitive, just beware of that. But nonetheless, I want y'all to check this out because this is real interesting. And I want to get your thoughts on the way you do and don't handle things. And I'm going to give you my thoughts even more so on the way you handle things and the way you don't handle things. And that is in relation to Ed Reed and Bethune Cookman and even Deion Sanders. You're going to see what in the world is Deion playing it. You're going to see in a minute. So here we go. And this is from YouTube channel Comedy Hype, Hype News. But they do a great job of detailing these situations. This is not comedy either with the good job they did on this news. So anyway, y'all check this out.
Obstacles HBCUs face has once again found itself in the headlines. Hall of Fame football player Ed Reed last week would go viral after he decided to share some obstacles he was facing as the next head coach at Bethune Cookman.
We gonna ride through the fence they ain't fixed the fence. We about to ride through this fence. This ain't even football side. This ain't even the football side. And y'all talking about Madden and my Uncle Prime. Y'all mad at Dion, mad at Prime. This shit is every HBCU. This is track, bro. This is track. This is what they practice on. It's a straightaway. This is in a mirror field. You can't practice on this. These kids got this to work with. Trash. Yeah, I'm showing it. I'm not even the head coach. Congratulations. Man, I should go my ass home. I said I should. I ain't. It ain't happening. Y'all see these buildings right here? You see these buildings right here? Y'all see these buildings right here? This corner? Y'all see this right here? This here? This shit is abandoned right here. They're hoarding trash in this shit. All this right here is trash. From this corner all the way right here is trash. You understand me? Come on, man. All this shit here was trash in front of me. Who you think got this shit cleared out? That building right there got trash in it. It's trash. What are you talking about? Need no god donors to come out and help out because people just want money.
Before the
All right, so there. Okay, so all of that was before the drama about him, whether he's gonna be the head coach or not. That was what caused a lot of the drama, because again, this is not him privately recording himself on his phone. This is him putting this out there live on Instagram. On his Instagram, I'm sure he has thousands of followers. So that was that. And I get why he's outraged, because he said, man, all this trash going on. He talked about abandoned buildings full of trash, hoarding trash, this and that. And this video was a little longer than the one I had seen previously of him going around talking about the terrible conditions. And you're right, Kelly. Put this up here. Kelly says, I think Reggie Theus said he knew of this beforehand. What is he saying he knew of? Are you talking about the trash or the stuff Ed Reed was pointing out? Now, Reggie Theus is the athletic director at Bethune Cookman. Reggie Theus, formerly of the NBA. I believe he coached in the league as well, if I'm not mistaken. But so this is even before he's officially got the job. He even said it in the video there. I'm not the head coach yet, even though he's wearing the hat and he's, riding around the campus on the golf cart, checking out different things. He showed a field that they had cleared out because they don't have a place to practice. All of that stuff. So I don't know. Kelly says everything that he ranted about, he said Reggie Theus already knew. Okay. So let's go into a little bit more. And I'm gonna give my thoughts as we go.
Now viral rant. Reed University were in negotiations to have him take over the school's football program as their head coach. Unfortunately, the university didn't take Reed's decision to be transparent online lightly and would decide not to move forward with him. A statement from Reed would soon follow, which would go on to address his language in the clip that would have him at odds with the school. In regards to my social media and comments about the university, staff, and other institutions, I would like to sincerely apologize to all BCU staff, students, and alumni for my lack of professionalism. My language and tone were unacceptable as a father, coach, and leader.
So that was him apologizing for his language and his tone. Very concise statement, an apology, saying that's not the way he should have conducted himself as a leader. I'll put it back up there so y'all can see it. As a father, coach, and leader, I'll read a little bit more of it. He says, my passion for our culture, betterment, and bringing our foundation up got the best of me, and I fell victim while engaging with antagonists on social media as well. He said, I'm fully aware of the hardworking folks at our school who are also fighting to make things better and more financially sound. He says, I am encouraged from my communication with my AD and our administration and understand it is a work in progress. My passion is about getting and doing better. That goes for me too. So when I saw that, I'm like, this is great. Great apology. I understand what he was upset about. He understands that he shouldn't have had that tone and all that, the cussing and all that. Look, here's a basic thing in life. I feel like we all can learn. If you're trying to get a job somewhere and you're making progress in the course of getting said job, don't go out on Facebook Live and curse out the job, curse out the facilities of that job, and cuss out the people that run the job. It's probably not a good idea if you're trying to get that job. I'm just saying. So anyway, he apologized. I'm like, okay, maybe things are going to be all right.
Coach and leader. Now, following the news, Reed would speak to some of the students and parents one more time and explain his position. Deion Sanders, who also made headlines late last year for his decision to leave Jackson State University, will call in to give Reed some encouraging words during the Instagram live feed.
We've been around here trying to change things, and we have.
and this has to change quickly. My vision for change.
All right. Now, this is going to escalate pretty quickly. Now, this is Ed Reed at the Bethune Cookman football facility. As you see, the podium has the Bethune Cookman insignia on it. He's talking to the players there in the room. So, again, this is going to escalate pretty quickly. So take a look in the list.
And this has to change quickly. My vision for change is probably moving too fast for a lot of people. I'm not withdrawing my name, as they saying. They don't want me here. They do not want me here because I tell the truth. It's hurt because I know people don't care about these kids like I do. And they should be the ones leaving. Not
if you're 45 and older.
This lady, this commercial pops up out of nowhere, but we're going to continue this in a second. I didn't ask for her giving me life insurance. Anyway, all right, here we go. Back to the video.
And they should be the ones leaving, not me, because I don't want to. Why? Because Jeremy grieves, who father I looked in the eye. And y'all mothers and fathers who I talked to last night, even though I knew they didn't want me. I took $2,400 out of my pocket and still gave it to the host, to host these young men. Shit, at this point, I'd do it for free, because I have been for the last 3 weeks. That man have too. He drove from New Orleans. Because he believed in me and my bitch. Motherfuckers! Yeah, I curse. And y'all done heard curse words before. They got parents in here. And no, I don't want to leave. And like I told you, I want all these recruits. But they got some corrupt people in this world, some evil people that don't care about kids like I do. So I want y'all to hear the truth from me. I ain't withdrawing my name. I got the receipts. They got all kinds of stuff going on around here, hoarding these buildings with nothing but trash in them. You understand me? And Dion was right. And I know I'm right. And they got some people in here who be snitching to their ass. We don't even have a practice field. Less than a week we've cleared this land y'all see over here. Less than a week. What's up, big bro?
So, and I'm going to go to Dion in a second. So, Ed Reed is speaking to the team there, and he's saying because the athletic director put out that, you know, Ed Reed was going to withdraw his name from consideration. Ed Reed's like, no, they wanted me to withdraw my name. I'm not doing it because I want to be here. We're making progress here. He talks about all the corruption going on within Bethune Cookman University and things of that nature. So, anyway, it escalated quite a bit. Talked about them not having a practice facility, which they do not, or a practice field. They had to clear land, which he did. He had to connect from Baltimore in his playing days as a Hall of Fame player in Baltimore and helping in the community there come down and volunteer to help clear off a field that they were going to make into their practice field so they could actually practice on campus and not have to take a bus somewhere else to practice. Talked about the trash everywhere. Talked about that. Now, I must say this. I think it's going to get to this later in the video. But all this stuff, even though Ed Reed's very emotional and very blunt in the things that he's saying, and maybe he could say things a little differently, I don't know. But ever since he put this out that is pointed the finger at the state of the university, the students, not just the student athletes, the students at the school have been inspired to protest over the past several days the conditions of the university. You got people that are in the dorms on campus talking about mold on the doors, the ceilings, all over the place. Took pictures. There's pictures out there you can find online of mold everywhere on campus, of food conditions, all sorts of things that are just terrible for anybody to live. They talk about the the lack of financial aid in certain situations, things that are promised that are not given out, all sorts of things. So then the interim president of Bethune Cookman comes out and says some things that they're working on things. Evidently, they've been hit by multiple hurricanes, and that has caused some of the problems that they've been having at Bethune Cookman. Then they haven't had the time to reconstruct things like they have. But, you know, Ed Reed said he was there to help. So it makes you wonder. Now, Deion Sanders saw this because, again, Ed Reed seems to do everything live online. That's the way a lot of people do now. Not necessarily going to knock that. But this speech in front of the football team was put out live on IG. That's why we're able to see it here. And Deion Sanders literally was watching it and requested to join the live. And he wanted to talk to Ed in front of the players and everything else and give him some encouragement. So check it out. Let me go back to that point.
Less than a week we've cleared this land y'all see over here. Less than a week. What's up, big bro?
Hey, I love you, man. You know that, right?
Yep.
We talked about this. We talked about this. We know the structure. We know the order. We know how it was going to play out. And you've been there fighting. I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. You got to understand, Ed, God has a time and a place for you, my brother. And I know your heart. I know everything that's going on inside of you. You know, I know you like a book. And I know how you feel about them kids, and I know you do not want to leave those kids. So I'm praying for you right now, man, because this is going to be the toughest thing you ever had to do in your life. Sometimes, Ed, you got to walk away, my brother. I know it's tough. I know you don't want to hear it. But sometimes in life, we got to walk away. You know what God wants from you, man, and be that. Don't let them provoke you, my brother. I love you, man. All right.
Now, on Saturday, the school has decided to release a statement on its decision not to ratify Reed's contract. Bethune Cookman University has announced that it has decided to not proceed with contract negotiations with Ed Reed to become the next head football coach at BCU. After undergoing a detailed assessment and review of the state of our football program, we have determined that it is in the best interest of our university, athletics program, and football student athletes to reopen the search and identify the next leader of Bethune-Cookman Wildcats football. While we appreciate the initial interest in our football program displayed by Mr. Reed during the course of recent weeks, we're also mindful of the qualities and attributes that must be exhibited by our institutional personnel during what have been unlikely challenging times for our campus as we recover from the impact of 2 hurricanes during this past fall semester. Bethune Cookman University was founded with core guiding principles centered around integrity, accountability, and mutual respect for others. These guiding principles have and will continue to weigh heavily in all decisions made that impact our university.
So you get all that. Man, that's a pretty interesting statement there from Bethune Cookman's part of things. They're basically like, hey, after a detailed assessment and review of the state of the football program, blah, 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 best interests of our university, blah, blah, blah. So it's interesting. He was, I guess you could say, the head coach, kind of, sort of Bethune Cookman for about 24 days when all this stuff happened. He talked about he's had people transfer there already. There were some kids in the room that had already transferred to Bethune Cookman to be there, including, I think he said his nephew was there to be there from where he came from and some other kids. He already has some recruiting visits going on where he talked to parents and talked about the vision for the school and all that stuff. And then all this comes down at the end of the day. So all I got to say is, look, to me, I don't know. This is just messy, man. I feel like there's a way to do things. And everything doesn't need to be so doggone public. You got an issue with somebody, you got an issue with something that you see, and even if it's legitimate, man, because it looks like the things Ed was worried about was legit. But there has to be some good faith on both sides. And I think Bethune Cookman handled some things wrong too. But at the end of the day, if you're working to an agreement to be working together, I can't have you out here blasting me on Facebook without even talking to me about it. You know what I'm saying? And I think most people would agree that that's not how you go about things, despite how right you are. Imagine you have an issue with somebody at your job, or let alone your boss, and how they're running things. And you decide to go Facebook and Instagram live with the thing and tell everybody about it. And then guess what? Your boss finds out through other folks what you were saying. And you got the whole reputation of your institution put out there in a certain way by this person that you haven't even really agreed to hire yet. So to me, it's just, it wasn't smart, man. And I think Ed Reed's probably a good dude, because I see the passion that he has for those kids and wanting to change things and things of that nature. But just because you got passion for something and you got good intentions doesn't mean everything you do is right. And it doesn't mean that everybody should be like, oh, but he got good intentions. So what does that matter at the end of the day? At least to me. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or if you think I'm wrong. But even if you have good intentions, if you don't go about it the right way, then you're going to get criticized. You're going to get scrutinized. I mean, come on now. We got to be real. Greg says there is indeed the wrong way to do the right thing. Yeah, absolutely. And look, he was clearly right about trash. He ain't making that stuff up about the buildings and all of that stuff. But go rant to the athletic director. Go rant to the president of the university about that stuff. Rant to them. Rant to whoever's over all that stuff. Don't go ranting on Facebook. Look at this. What does that do? That just looks. The perception of that is that it's self-serving. The perception of that is that it's all about you. And that you want to make sure that people know that this is not you doing this. This is them doing this. That's not how a partnership works. That's not what you do with your business partners. Throw them under the bus publicly when you don't agree with them. It's just not good. It's not a good look for HBCUs. It's not a good look for black folks doing business like this. It's just not. And I don't knock Dion for getting in on the live video, because I know he knows Ed personally and they have a good relationship. And I even think what he said to him was fine. But I don't know. Again, why does everything need to be so public with everybody, man? Couldn't he have called Ed Reed after that? You got to be live on Instagram doing all this stuff. Come on, man. Maybe it's just me. Why does everybody got to put all this stuff out there? Then mess out there for the world to see. Private conversations. Deep and innermost thoughts. I see people going on live just to talk about their deep and innermost feelings about everything. And then they wonder, why is there so much drama going on? Well, I wonder why. You done told 300,000 people, especially people like Ed Reed that got thousands and thousands of followers. You done told 3 million people what you got going on. And now you shocked that the world's talking about it in this drama? Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Come on. Gosh, this could have been a good thing for Bethune Cookman. This could have been a good thing for Ed Reed in his first real shot at head coaching and leading the program. It seemed like he had resources to do the right thing. It just turned into a mess. And I'm going to tell you something else. This again, people ain't going to like this. Black folks, black men specifically, stop airing everything out publicly. Here's what I'm talking about. So in the midst of all of this, Shannon Sharp, yes, the same Shannon Sharp that tried to fight the whole Grizzlies team at the Laker game. But this isn't really faulting him in this case. Shannon Sharp played for the Baltimore Ravens toward the end of his career. Won that Super Bowl in 2002, I believe. That was right before Ed Reed got there. Was drafted there. But he knows Ed Reed because of the Baltimore Ravens connection. So anyway, Shannon Sharp on Undisputed talks about it. Him and Skip talk about this situation, which, of course, the world was talking about it, so I get why they were talking about it. Shannon basically says a lot of the same things I said. He says he thinks Ed has a good heart. He thinks he had good intentions for what he did. But there's a right and a wrong way about going about those things. Literally the same thing that I'm saying now. What does Ed Reed do? He goes out there and tweets Shannon Sharp, hey, bro, you're not understanding or whatever. Then they proceed to have a private conversation on Instagram. Shannon Sharp DMs him, says, hey, bro, there's no disrespect intended. He said, but I did just give my opinion on the situation because it was a topic we were talking about. And again, no disrespect intended. I believe you had the right intentions, but there's a right and a wrong way to go about doing things. Ed Reed fires back and says, blah, blah, blah. I forget the exact DMs. I had it before the show. I was looking at it. So some of you may ask, how do I know the DMs, a private conversation between Shannon Sharp and Ed Reed? How am I privy to this knowledge? Word for word. Well, guess what Ed Reed did? He didn't like what Shannon Sharp said on his national television sports show about this national story that everybody's been talking about. So he put out in public their DMs in private. He put it all out there and said, this is what Shannon said here. Took a picture of it, put it out. This is what I said. This is what Shannon said. That right there is why you're not the head coach of Bethune Cookman. That right there is why you're probably not going to be the head coach anywhere. I wanted to be behind Ed Reed. I really did. Especially after he came out with his first apology, after saying what he said in the IG video. But what I saw, it seemed like everything he said was correct to the point that the students were emboldened enough to protest the conditions of the school. And yes, those administrators need to do a heck of a better job than what they're doing right now. But this is not the way you go about your business if you're Ed Reed. You're getting too personal. You're putting out private text messages because somebody is barely criticizing you. See, we as black folks, we can't be doing that, man. How are people going to take you seriously? You say he's got all these other job offers. I bet after they saw this, they don't want nothing to do with him. It's too much drama. You ain't going to see Nick Saban going Facebook Live every time he's got an issue with something. It ain't going to happen. Why he's going to handle it in-house? It's just dumb. Stupid. And it makes people question your motives. What are you really doing it for? Are you doing it for those folks to give you all this adulation and praise? Or are you really doing it for those kids like you keep saying you are? It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. And I always put into question anybody, whether it's a pastor, whether it's a community leader, whether it's a coach like this. You do a whole lot of good things in the community. But you also make sure that camera phone is in your face when you do it. Or you're posting about it when you do it. I want to make sure everybody knows I gave $300,000 to this family in need. Come on, family in need. Let me take a picture with this money I'm giving you, so everybody can give me praise and adulation. Is it really about the kids? What is it about you? I'm just saying. But anyway, that's going to do it for me on today, man. That's all I really wanted to come on and talk about. I wanted to spend some time on the Tyre Nichols situation. I'm sure the video is probably out by now at 6:20. You never know. We may be back on a little later talking about that. You never know, man. But please be careful out there, people. Be careful. Do the right thing. Make the right decisions. Definitely praying for everybody out there. And keep us in your prayers as well. We'll talk to y'all next time right here on Talkback Live Network. I'm your host, Josh Midgett. This is Talk Sports Live. And I'll see y'all next time.
I watch y'all come.
Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd. 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around. I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Rub your hands. You are right now?
All right, I'm back. I know I just said I was gonna end it there, but I'm seeing some of y'all coming in the comments with some information, and I kind of want to keep it going here a little bit. Vicky, let me know if you're there. I see you just left a comment saying she's watching the murder of Tyre Nichols. Low down, evil demons, Lord help us. She also says she's sick to her stomach. They beat him so bad. What in the world did I just watch? Man. All right, y'all. And Vicky and some of y'all that are still there, this is what I'm going to do because I want to kind of dedicate a separate stream to this. So y'all stick around. I'm going to end this live and I'm going to start another one. Okay? This is what y'all know in a few minutes. And I want y'all to join in on that one, okay? So those of y'all coming in right now, I'm about to end this video, but I am going to go live in the next 3 to 5 minutes again. Try to get some more people in here, so I'm going to do it that way and dedicate a separate video to just that conversation, okay? All right, so those of y'all that are here, again, y'all can put in the comments and make sure y'all heard me. I am going to be back in the next few minutes to talk about this Tyre Nichols video, and we may even try to find it for you if you want. And it's up to you, because while I'm sitting here, I'm actually looking at clips of the video myself, and it's yeah. So just to let you know, I'm about to end this video, and we'll be back in a few minutes, okay?